All right, I don't think there's hardly anyone watching right now, but I could be wrong. Hopefully some people join. Let me mute this. There we go. Okay. All right, so I think today I'm going to play around with some maybe some fall event design stuff. I didn't have any specific idea in mind, so I was just thinking fall stuff. And I've got we've got, like, when I look just on Google and type in fall event design, I just notice a lot of like floral stuff. So I was thinking that maybe I could do something with some floral stuff, maybe kind of make some, see, actually this image has some kind of branches and stuff in it, so maybe we could actually do some type of vine style stuff with some cool like orange fall floral stuff, I guess. Anyways, we'll come back to that and see what we can do. So I guess for now I'll just start in a basic room like this, and maybe we can change the room up a little bit later. And so yeah, I think I'm gonna do, actually I think I talked last week about doing more of like a not like a, like more of a central setup so that not everything's focused on the front of the room necessarily. So this would be more of like a social party type of event or something similar to that. So we're kind of focusing on maybe the whole room as opposed to just one side of the room. So maybe in this case we don't have any presenters, we just have a party or something like that. So play around with that. I think to get started, I'll probably just add some, start adding some kind of decor stuff, or maybe we want to add in some tables and play around with some different tables and stuff. Also, maybe this time I'll add in a specific venue. So let me go ahead with, this one's very kind of ornate looking. Let's see what it looks like with the lights down a bit. This could be a cool one. So this is the Omni King Edward Crystal Ballroom. So yeah, I'll play with this one, see how this looks. So we're gonna kind of do a fall look to it, see what we can get. All right, so let me go in this top view here, and we'll just add in some tables and other things to get it looking good. All right. Sorry, let me see here. All right, so I'm thinking let's just throw some tables in first, and then so maybe we do some like cocktail tables. Let's look at some references again. Could possibly do some intricate looking tables. So yeah, let's see about this. We'll play with it. Okay. So let me go back to here, and I'm going to add in a table here. I'm going to go back into my orbit view here, focus in on the table. And let's see what we can do here with this. If I scale this up, make it a 5 foot, take off this stuff. I'm gonna make it like a smaller cocktail table sort of thing. Maybe make it a little bit taller. And maybe we'll change the color of it to a yellow so that it stands out. So it'll be like, here are all the cocktail tables, check these out. And then on top of them, we'll do like some green stuff. All right, so I could go into plants here and see about adding some plants, but these are mostly kind of meant for the floor and whatnot. So I think what I'm actually going to do is make some floral stuff here so that we can do this. For anyone joining, I'm playing around with the idea of just making like a fall sort of social gathering party event scene, something like that. So what I'm going to try to do is add a bunch of floral stuff to it. So something like these designs, this is just what I'm playing with. So thinking about making some plants like this, and then having some kind of colorful tables happening. And I'm in this kind of ornate Omni King Edward Crystal Ballroom Hotel here. Or sorry, ballroom. All right, so I'm going to try to put some floral plants and stuff on here and see how that goes. So again, we could add some plants through this, but those are mostly for the floor. So we have another option which we can use in this build scenery option. And in here, you have a bunch of scenery options, and in the other tab here, I have basically some floral stuff to make a kind of floral wall. And so we can manipulate this a bit to kind of work with this. I think, let me give it a shot. We'll just kind of experiment. I'm going to basically make the dimensions of this pretty small. So we'll say it's like a 2x2. And they're going to show up right here in the front of the room because it's typically like how they get built here. So you'll see we have some plants here. I think this might be a little end up being too big, because kind of what I want to do is place it on the table here. So we'll see how that goes. Let me see if I make it a little bigger. It might be too big. I think we could probably scale it down eventually though. So let's just play with this. So I'm going to place that and then add some other plants around it like this. And then I can change the color of it as well. So, all right, so let's grab this. I'm just gonna go over it. I'm going to group it, and then I will move it over to the table here. All right, so I kind of maybe want it to like lay down on the table or something. Or maybe I just want to scale it down and see how that goes. Basically, I just want it to look like it's sitting on the table, I think. This might not be our best creation ever, but maybe we can get it to look good. I'll just duplicate it and then move it around a bit. There's also the option to add in a separate table through the seating options here. And you can, sorry, if I go into add objects and then tables, you can select the table here and then go into seating in the build actually, and then decor on the tables, and you can add some decor to the tables, but these are kind of limited to specific types of decor, and so I think I wanted to make like a kind of a specific, custom floral arrangement here. So I'm just going to turn the table setting to off there and go back to here and do something like this. And then we can try to adjust the color maybe a little bit more again. So maybe we make a green or kind of a orangish. Maybe we don't want to go too overkill on the orange, but we'll see. We'll just leave that as is for now. I think when we add some lighting in the space, it could start to look cool. And maybe we'll add some chairs to this too, just to fill this up real quick. So chairs and then some stools. We have a few stool options here. I'll do these ones, kind of feel like party style chairs. Just gonna kind of rotate them a bit, or keep them on an angle, make them look comfortable and casual. And maybe we do 3 per table. Or do we want to do, I feel like 4 is a lot and everyone's just staring at each other, so I'm just gonna do 3. That way people can get up and move around without being like directly looking in someone else's eye and being like, hey, I gotta go, so I'm gonna go over here, you know what I mean? So anyways, let me know if you feel me on that. All right, so from here, let me throw in a person on here just to see what we're looking like. Put this person on this chair here. She looks like she's having a good time. I think our table might be a little tall. I haven't measured it, but we'll just move it down a bit here. All right. And maybe we add a couple more people. Why not? Just to make it look like it's happening time. And I think I can just replace this person by dragging in a new person. So let's put this guy in here. He's got a glass of something. And there we go. All right, these 2 people are having a fine and dandy time in this fall social gathering here. All right, cool. So let's do that, and then I'm gonna just leave that there for now, and I think I'm gonna play around with adding a like a tree sort of fall scenery style thing. So I was looking at these Google images. I just typed in like fall event design, and I was digging these kind of scenery things. So I think I'll try to make something like this. Let me know if you have any questions about any of this. I'm just really playing with stuff, not doing anything too specific. So if you're wanting to see something more specific, let me know. All right, so what I'm going to do is, to get that sort of thing, is I think I'm just going to try to find a branch sort of image. So let me see if I can find a branch image. So what I would do in this case is I would go back to Google Images and I would find a image of some branches, and I would type in PNG which will give you some transparency around the branch. But if we want to do that kind of look like this, I think we're going to need like almost vine looking branches, right? So maybe vines. But these are all going to have plants on them. I think I just want some branches. Vine branches. Maybe just branches. And maybe we do this guy. I don't think this is an actual transparent image though. If I open it in a new tab, yeah, that's not an actually transparent image. This one probably is. None of these are like exactly what I want, but sometimes you gotta compromise, I guess. Maybe we do something cool where it kind of just tapers to the top, so it's like an actual tree. Let's do that. Open image in new tab. So this is definitely a branch or a PNG. All right, so from here, I'm going to go ahead and throw this into my images. Let me just put it in real quick here. All right, so I'm going to add it to my images here. And it should load right here. There it goes. Okay. So I have a branch here. I rotate it like this. And now what I'm going to do is just add the floral the same kind of way I did over here. So play with that. So I'm going to just build button, go back to scenery, and then other, and set the dimension to something like tall, or so I'll do like a let's do like 3 feet wide by 5 feet high, maybe. Something like this. Look back at the reference image. Maybe make it a little more narrow. So maybe like 2 feet. Yeah, something like that. All right, I'm going to place that, and I'm going to add a couple more. This one. And do this one too. When I place it, it makes a little explosion, so I know that it's placed. All right, so I kind of move this up. You could probably even get away with just using a couple of these, so it looks like it's more sparse. But if I kind of like do this, I mean, this might be too many. Maybe I just do like these ones. Maybe make this one a little smaller and then duplicate it. I think maybe that looks a little better. All right, so something like that. And we'll do, I'm going to change the color of these. Something like this. And I just need to make this, move this branch a little closer here. And I guess from here I might like, what am I thinking of? I guess I need to put it in something, probably like a vase or something. What are these guys doing? I think they're just putting it, like attaching it to pillars and stuff. So let me see what we could do for that. I could just go to a basic shape and do something like that. Or let me throw a light on it real quick too. I think maybe it needs to look a little more orangish. Maybe the green one. Sorry, I'm just playing around with this. Let me know if this is completely boring to you. All right. Let's stick with that for now. I can always adjust the color of this to make it even more orange looking. So I can play with that later then. Or more yellowish. But again, we don't want to go overkill with the orange. Or the amber, whatever you want to call it. But maybe I put this just in a basic cylinder for now. So I will adjust the size of this to like maybe 1 foot by 1 foot by 4 feet, 3 feet. And I can adjust this to have some gloss to it and make it look like it's kind of a vase. Maybe like metal. Maybe make it a little bit smaller. All right, so I just kind of made this custom tree, fall tree branch situation here. And I'm still just kind of playing around with it, right? But it's like a fall time tree situation. You can go to the top view here, and from here, I'll probably, I think I just want to make this a little bit bigger overall. So I'm going to select the whole thing, zoom in on it, and make the whole thing a bit bigger. It's going to kind of scale separately, so let me move the branch separately here. And maybe I can group them. Well, yeah. Make that a little bit smaller. So I feel like it's a little bit small, so let me just grab this whole thing again. I think I just want to make it taller. Or maybe if I undo that, I could probably just make it taller if I duplicated some of these and then made the branch taller. So I'll move that up, and then if I can grab this branch, or I could even just make another branch too. Where did my branch upload go? Just try to duplicate this guy. If I could click on it. Come on, let me click on you. I wonder if I'm kind of hard to click on it because it's so thin. Okay, got it. All right, so now I'm just going to duplicate it It's going to take a second to load. And then I can maybe reverse it now. Just kind of rotate it a bit and move it up higher. All right, that'll work for me. Rotate this one a tiny bit. All right, that's definitely taller. Looks kind of cool. All right, I'm gonna grab all these and group them and move them around a bit. I need to make sure I got all of them grouped. These branches aren't grouping for some reason. Oh, I know why. Okay, I think I just have to drag them by themselves. All right, so I'm gonna bring it over here and we will go ahead and duplicate a couple of these guys. So we kind of fill the space with them. So maybe I'll do one like every other wall here or something. So probably we can always adjust this later and keep them a little bit farther away from the wall. All right, so I got this. I'm gonna duplicate it by holding Alt and dragging. And then, cool, we got two of them there. And then I'll make a couple more over here. Can't decide, well, I guess I can just change it with the lighting. If I want these things to be a little more like yellow, less orange. If the lighting will do it. I might just need to change the color of the plants here, so let's try this. I think like I want to get more of a like auburn and not just so orange, if that makes sense. So let's do brownish maybe. Yeah, brown I think is where I want. Okay, I'm going to change the vases back to metal look. Oops. Need to unlock the group and then go to a metal look. Okay, cool. All right, we'll stick with that for now. Now I can just kind of change the color of the light, which I think will be a little bit better. Yeah, that looks a little better. All right, and then I can adjust the color of the room. I mean the lighting of the room. And probably just need to add more lights in general, but let's increase the intensity of these guys. All right, we can always play around with that in a bit. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate these again. And let me turn my camera back on. That randomly automatically shuts off. Okay. All right, I'm going to rotate these guys 90 degrees here. And And I think I'll set them right about here. And do like one more right there. And I probably want to fill out the whole space and do a couple more. So let me move these a little closer here, and then I'll kind of just mirror them on the other side here. See what this looks like. And it looks like some of these plants could move a little bit. So let me unlock that group and rotate it a bit. Okay, we'll stick with that for the moment. We got this cool look going here. All right, so from here, I'm actually going to group all of these uplights because I just want to play with the lighting for a second. So I'm gonna shift and hold shift and select the, oops, I need to unlock groups. Okay. I'm going to make sure that they're not in a group first. So I gotta select these, ungroup, oops, and ungroup. All right, now I can select them all. For some reason they want to be in a group. All right, now I'm gonna select them and adjust their color a bit. Something like that for now. Up the intensity just a bit. It's probably too bright. Bring it down a tad. All right, cool. All right, I think from here I want to do some like just other lighting in the room. Let's see what else we got for inspiration. So we could do some kind of lights above the tables, which I think would help. Some like pin spot sort of lights. So let's see about maybe doing that. So I think to do some pin spotting, you know, there's probably not an easy way to do that in this sort of room, but you could potentially just throw up some lighting trees. So if I go into lighting here, I could throw in a tree right here. This probably isn't going to be ideal, but I don't think, I mean, I guess you could possibly rig in this room. I'm actually not sure about this one. You definitely want the lights to be higher to get some good downlighting on here. Let me just delete this for the moment, and I'll add I don't really have any specific pin spots, so we'll just use a light like this. I'm just going to drag it above these guys and aim it onto their table here. And that's already looking a lot cooler. So I guess, oh yeah, I don't really want to. I'm guessing we probably don't want to rig anything in here. But see what just the room lighting. Yeah, if you blow out the room, it just kind of looks not as nice. So having these individual pin spots definitely helps. So we'll get back to this pin spotting idea, and for now we'll just kind of duplicate a couple of these and see how it goes. So I'm just gonna select them and hold Alt and drag, and we'll just do a few of these guys. Maybe rotate a couple of them. Just use some random pattern. All right. If I go back into here, I can switch some of these people around. So I can go ahead and just select a person here and then switch him out and adjust him a bit. I'll just do that real quick so that we have some different people sitting around. And at this point, sometimes you have to kind of reuse some people. Oops. All right, that's looking pretty cool. I wonder if we want to do any, the room's so tall, so I'm almost like it'd be cool if we did something to kind of highlight the ceiling or something, but I'm not too sure what. Let's see. We could hang some truss, and then, or we could, what we could do is just light up the ceiling with some movers probably, which would be fast and cheap option. Well, not necessarily super cheap, but just move one out here and see what happens. So think let's put it like just on this guy, and I'm going to adjust the cone angle a bit, do some motion to it. These almost look like leaves here. And then I'll aim the lights by clicking this aim button. Just kind of hit the ceiling here, I guess. Maybe change the color to, maybe this is not the gobo. Hey Mayor, how's it going? So, full support from India, thank you. Love that. You can always add some haze here. I don't really like this blue, but there's also probably just way too much orange auburn here, so could always adjust that. Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's just this gobo is just not awesome looking. We could upload a new gobo, a different one. maybe let's see about adding a different gobo in. Let me just go here back to our Google Images and do fall gobo. Who knows what will pop up. All right, definitely some leaves and sort of things. This could be kind of cool. It's kind of abstract-ish. Maybe this would work. Let's try this one, see how it goes, right? So open up here. I'm going to save the image as download, except this is not going to work because it's a what I could do though, all right, let me just try this. All right, I'm going to open, actually, I'm just going to real quick do a screenshot of this. Kind of, when you're playing around with images and textures and stuff, a lot of times you just kind of wing it with the with all the graphics and stuff that you're getting, because obviously we're probably not going to use this exact, if we were actually doing this event, we probably wouldn't actually be using this specific gobo. I mean, definitely it's always cool if you can get the specific gobo that you want, but just name this but you know, it's kind of more conceptual sometimes, so so I'm just kind of trying to iterate quickly and not necessarily going for like the exact thing that we would use necessarily. All right, let me upload this image. And I'll just add this to our light fixture here. So I'm going to click add image. And boom, that's a lot cooler. Definitely a lot cooler. Definitely cooler. Okay, sweet. I like that. That's pretty sweet. So I'm going to aim this again. You could aim it against the walls, which actually also looks kind of cool. And maybe just move it around a bit. And go back here. I kind of like that. Obviously, it would probably like hit people walking by, but you know, sometimes that's the price you pay for cool looking gobo. That's all I'm saying. It's starting to look like super orange in here. It's hard to kind of match it. Like, I mean, purple kind of goes well with the orange, but it's like, it kind of throws off the fall look. So it's, you almost want to stick with these like light tones, but I don't know, you know, green too, but you don't want to be too, too like vibrant, I guess, you know. Otherwise, especially in this room, it just starts to look really over the top. All right, so I'm just gonna move this one over here and rotate it. And we got this balcony view up here. I'll go back to my first person view here. So that's pretty cool. I'm not sure I love the green, but it's something. I mean, white is probably better. And let me switch these people out again real quick. Let's put a different person right there. Sometimes I really just have to mix this up so it's not the same people right next to each other. Eventually we'll add more people in here, but and maybe we can add some just people standing around to kind of mix it up. So I'm going to add more of these lights around just because, again, so sometimes like it'd be ideal in this room to if you want to really create the mood, you would want to do this kind of dramatic pin spotting sort of look over the tables, and then also over some other areas of the room. But I'm not sure in this room that we'd be able to like rig, and it would be obviously kind of expensive to do that. So for now, I'm just kind of throwing some lights around. Potentially in the room, you could get this sort of look with just some down lighting from the room. But in our program here, if you really like, increase the lights a bunch, it's just going to make the room look just blown out, not very nice. So I definitely like to dim the lights and then add some new lights around to kind of light the space. But potentially you would get this look with these downlights here anyways, so that's something you could play with. Maybe you want to just move these lights above the ceiling so you don't see them, and then you could basically say, all right, these lights are actually just the downlights in the room. All right, so now they disappear, and we'll just increase the lights a little bit, just the cone angle here. So this just looks a little better, right? But obviously it'd be a lot cooler if you had pin spotting, because then you could hit all of the lights specifically, or so all of the tables specifically. All right, I'm gonna throw in a couple more people. Maybe these two guys are talking. And yeah, all right, we definitely want a couple more of these lights around. So let me do, actually, so I could do like a light tree here. So I think I'll just do, could throw on like this guy. And I don't want to make this room look too obtrusive with a bunch of truss or anything, so I'm going to pick this apart a little bit. But I think this would be cool because then you can light this whole wall with just these lights here. So maybe you do like replace these lights. So I'm going to open up this group. I'm just going to delete these two, and I'll add some moving lights here. And let me go back to my orbit view here. All right, I'm just going to flip this 90 degrees, or 180. And then let's see if I do this, and then actually, you know what? I think I need to add that gobo back. So let me get that again. All right, now we got this cool gobo. You could also hit the floor, which is pretty cool. But floor gobos, I don't think are as effective as hitting other parts of the wall. It's just not something you look at as often. All right, so I'm gonna hit this aim button and aim it over on the wall here, like that. Maybe I narrow the cone a bit, hit this left side here, and duplicate this, and aim it over here. I guess I could do another tree too to really fill out the wall. And I think our color was like a almost like an off green. That's kind of cool. All right, so we'll just stick with that. I'm gonna put a basically like a box over this truss so that we don't see the truss, because I think that kind of ruins the look. So I'll just drag out a basic cube here, and we'll go ahead and do like a 1 by 1 by 12-foot cube here, which will basically just act like a truss cover. As you can see here, I think my base is a little high. All right, so something like that is kind of cool, not too obtrusive, I guess, you know. And then I want to go ahead and duplicate this once, I guess, and maybe rotate it a bit. So leave it like here, and I guess I'll go back in and aim it. So I'm going to click on each one of these lights here, and I'll just go ahead and aim it on these walls. This might be overkill for the gobos. But we could also just go in and make the gobos a little bit more narrow, or maybe I just spread them out a bit more. So this one hits over here. This one hits over here. The light is trying to look at the other wall. So. Okay, so something like this. And then I'm just going to select them all and like narrow the cone a little bit. And then get these ones too that are over here. Narrow the cone a bit. Select the color I want. I mean, the whole room is like moving now. Let me narrow these ones a little bit more. It's a little better. Okay, so something like that. Select these guys one more time, and just the intensity, and let's try this haze one more time, see what that looks like. Yeah, I think the haze is just going to make the uplights look a little bright. Probably don't need much haze in this, but I always like to test it out just to see. The haze is definitely going to be brighter if I were to up the intensity of these lights on the wall, and then if I click haze, then you can see the haze in the moving lights like that. But that's probably just overkill, so I think we'll stick it out with the lower intensity there and just turn the haze off. All right. Kind of stick with this for now. Probably let me just set up some camera views real quick so we can quickly go back and forth. So I'm going to do some quick camera views here, just to get a couple different shots where I can kind of go back and forth. So I'll go to, like, I think this is the entrance of the room. So let's say you walk in and the look is kind of like this. Something like this. So I'm going to go to camera view here, my saved camera views, and just click the plus sign. Maybe do the opposite side of the room over here. If I hit the H key, I can see the full screen as well. Yeah, we'll do that. And then let me come all the way over here to the other side. So the other side's pretty bare right now, but I just want to focus on the other one. If I hit the O key, I could also come up here and do like a top kind of side view. And then also in this room, there's a balcony up here, so you could do like a balcony view. Something like this. All right, so definitely could add some more tables and stuff in here. I'm just wondering if there's anything else I want to add as well. I guess I'll fill out the space a little bit more. Let's move this over a tad, and then we'll just do like a duplicate some of these so that it's kind of staggered and sort of somewhat symmetrical. And then I'll actually add some more people just kind of standing around. And we'll do one more of these. How's everyone's Friday going if you're watching right now? Hopefully this is not too boring for you. And if you have anything specific you want to ask or see, I'm more than happy to do it. Just playing around with a random fall idea right now. Last week we did like a winter holiday event sort of thing, and it was all set up like a kind of typical sort of presentation style event, like a corporate sort of event. Everything was against one wall, so I wanted to do something that was more like a social kind of event where things were spread out within the room, and we were just kind of designing throughout the whole room. So that was the plan for today, I guess. Or that's what I'm doing, I should say. I'll just kind of continue this. We'll say that I believe people come in through kind of these doors and actually through this area right here. This is like a pre-function area. Again, this is the King Edward Crystal Ballroom room, which is like super ornate. You can see if I go to my camera views here, you can kind of just see all the intricate details of the room. It's definitely a cool room, but obviously, like, I'm sure that this type of room gets a lot of these types of events where they don't want to necessarily like use them as much for like a presentation style, but I'm just guessing that this type of room gets used a lot for these types of social gatherings and stuff like this. So this is kind of cool. The room isn't super filled out, but you can always spend a little more time kind of adding, more people in and that sort of thing, so that it gets a little more filled out. Have these guys talking to each other. And I'll do a little group of 3. This guy kind of stands out because he got like a bright white shirt on. Actually, I might remove him just because he's kind of standing out there. So this guy likes to dress fancy. It's a little less bright. All right, so this is kind of cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we could add in here, if anyone has any ideas of stuff they might want to see in here. Let me know. Again, I'm just playing around with stuff. Save this. It's kind of cool so far. Dave says, hi all, Dave Gardner here with a new property Mariana, Detroit. Just started working with Eric. He just completed our Renaissance Ballroom and I've just started playing with it. Thanks, Dave, for saying that. I could actually throw in the Renaissance Ballroom that he's talking about here too, which is in our venues option. We have this Marriott Renaissance Ballroom, which is he's talking about. We're actually making some edits with that one as well. Dave, let me know too, as we just started working on that last week. If there's anything specific you want to see, because I'm happy to do that. And yeah. Let's see if there's anything else. We could, let's say we were throwing some speakers in here. So for some audio stuff real quick, maybe, I'm guessing this is like a corporate style event. By the way, everyone's dressed to this occasion. And I'm just going to throw some kind of speakers in the background. You could also kind of like hide some speakers by throwing them behind one of these plants, you know, because the plant's not going to mask the audio too much. But I guess for now we'll just kind of put it there, even though it sticks out like a sore thumb. Although these guys do too. Let's see. Yeah, it'd be cooler if you could. Maybe let's try something on the ceiling just for the heck of it. We could hang something. Again, I don't believe there's rigging in this room. But maybe we could do something crazy, just some crazy idea where we make like a lighting tree and then we cover it with scenery. I don't see that done very often, but why not give that a shot? So let's say we did like you could do, if I go into like staging here, let's say we had like a actual lift here. Go back to my orbit view, which is a little easier to navigate. Go above here. All right, it might look funky. You definitely have to play with this, but let's say like we were hanging some speakers here just because we wanted to go all out and make a good setup. I think it would be cool to like add in, let's say we had, I mean, this is way overkill with this style of speaker probably, but at least your like display would be much better because you're hitting more of the room kind of from a better angle rather than blasting the people that are nearest to the speakers. So let's say we did something like this. And it's just a rough setup of how that would be hung. Not looking for it to be exact. And so what I want to try to do is like kind of mask it so that it is not a big sore thumb like this. Let's see what we can do. So I could go over to my scenery, decor, and I don't think we want to like add any type of, maybe we could just do some drape under it. Let's see if that looks like anything. I'm gonna go to Quest, or maybe not Quest, shapes, no. Let me go back into staging. I think we have some drape options here. So what if I do like this? and change the color of it to something that blends in, this maroon. And then raise it up. I mean, this is getting kind of different, but it would definitely be nice to cover this up. I'll narrow this a bit. So that's definitely a little better looking. You know, you're kind of incorporating it into your design almost. And then maybe you do the same thing with these two, actually. You know, you just cover your lighting trees with kind of simple drapery like this. I'm just gonna scale this down a bit. Probably have to narrow it because it's gonna get in the way of those movers, but we'll just put it there for now. But definitely a little bit better looking than just the, you know, the black tower. Yeah, I like this, it's kind of cool. I'm just gonna duplicate this, and maybe we also throw like a uplight on it. I mean, that we don't necessarily want it to stand out, right? But potentially it could look good. Let's throw a light on there. So I'll go to lighting and then uplighting. I'll do the second light here. Whoops, I think I moved that off a bit. All right, so that's what that looks like. If I move a little closer and then narrow the angle a bit. I mean, maybe I don't want to do this, but I'm just playing with it. Just seeing what it looks like. I think it's a little bit better, you know, like being lit up. It's kind of cool. And then, you know, if you wanted it to really blend in, I guess maybe you would do like another piece here that would have a logo of some kind. So kind of like copy this whole thing. And then hang like a, maybe even like a screen or something instead of a speaker. You could throw on like a, again, I wouldn't want anything to be like super obtrusive, but let's see, maybe we can make something that looks decent. Or you could do like a vertical pillar of some kind hanging there. So yeah, maybe 12 feet or so. Let's see. 4 feet. Maybe, and then did some kind of cool video animation or something there. See if I could find any images to put on there. Again, this might just be out of the ordinary and weird, but I think if you found like a cool abstract fall image, we do fall abstract graphic. This is where it gets weird, in my opinion, because when you have a room that looks like this, and then you just start throwing like LED walls and stuff in there, it's like it starts to really stand out like a sore thumb. But I don't know, maybe we can find something. Obviously, this would probably be like a logo for a company in there. But I would just for now throw in like an abstract graphic. Some type of pattern maybe. I might even just do this for the moment. Is that, let's see. Yeah, that might work. It's almost like it's an art piece, right? So let's see, open image in new tab. Okay. And then I'll upload this real quick. Oh, Dave, sorry, I missed your message there. So I'm hoping to get rig points in the room so I can put my truss and speakers where they will actually be. I know we haven't dealt with that yet. I may be able to do it on my own. Yeah, so there's two ways of doing that. One way is to send us a floor plan that you might have, and we can definitely get that to fit correctly. And then basically when you load in when you drag and drop in your ballroom, then it will just show up there. The other way to do it is when you select the venue by this little icon right here, this move icon, which you can move the whole venue. You can basically just add an image to this, and what it'll do is it'll show up as the size of the room here, and then once it's there, you can scale around the image, so it'll show up inside the room, and then you can move and scale the floor plan to basically fit the room. But if you need help with that, we can definitely help you. Let's see if this is the one I want. Yeah. All right, so not the coolest image in the world, but let's like adjust it a bit and make it look like it's a art piece or something. I don't like that at all, but it's something. I just didn't see anything in here that looked good, but yeah, this is where it's kind of like weird because the image kind of starts to look like it's just like it sticks out unless it's meant to look like a, either a logo or a art piece. But let me just replace it with this one. See what this looks like. I guess this is not meant to be. I think this must have been meant to be like an art piece or something, but and upload that real quick. And I'll throw that in here. See what if this looks any better. Kind of blends in now with the wall because of the colors, but and I would want to you can stretch it out like this, And I don't know. Definitely doesn't look great, but whatever. Adjust the pixel pitch of it so it looks like it's LED. And now it kind of looks like maybe now this is just like an art an art gathering. There's a bunch of gallery professionals having their annual meeting. All right, so I'll probably stop here in like 5 minutes or so. I've gone for about an hour and a half or so, I think, or an hour. I think at this point, like, you know, the room's pretty filled out as far as stuff in it goes. And obviously you could still add more stuff, but I think this was kind of a cool example of just playing around with some different things. This fall idea. I'm just gonna duplicate this one more time and like add it to 2 other spots of the room. I believe this would start to get pretty expensive, but I just want to fill out the room a bit more. Sorry if I sound very like tired and boring today. I just didn't sleep a lot, so and this coffee just doesn't seem to really be kicking in. Maybe it's because I haven't been drinking it though. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Type 1 in the chat if you like what we did here. If you don't like what we did, type what you think could be better. Because if you have ideas, that'd be awesome to hear them. But in general, I think it's kind of cool. Like, it's definitely different. And yeah, so I'll do a quick couple renders of this maybe. I think what do I call it? The lift here is still kind of obtrusive. Like, you know, you can still just see them still very large within the room. It's definitely hard to make something like that disappear. Unfortunately, right? But yeah, I'll add some quick lights to this guy. And thanks, Dave. Yeah. Yeah, definitely get to playing around with stuff when you get time. And I'm sure the ballroom that you have can look really cool once you start playing with it and adding some stuff in there. I'm gonna continue to do this every Friday. Hopefully some people want to join and just chat and hang out towards the end of the week. And yeah, maybe if I'd start doing this out in the afternoon, well, I don't know if I should do that, but I was gonna say I could grab a drink. Because it tends to be like, it's the end of the week, and it's exciting. So it's like happy to get there, have a drink, do a little streaming, and create a cool looking event design. Sounds fun. But yeah. So anyways, I think this is kind of sweet. Trying to think if I do a render or 2 of this. I don't really like this view. I guess this view looks maybe the best because you can't see the back of the spot over there. Maybe if I move in a little closer, or probably need to add in another group of people over here maybe. And then if I go to this, it looks a little more filled out. Let's see if I add in this haze again. You can also adjust the contrast here. This contrast button, I really like it because it kind of outlines a lot of the elements in the space, and so it gives it a little bit more of like you can see each object in the space, but if you turn it off, everything blends together a bit more, as you can see here. So, things can tend to disappear a little bit more, but adding the contrast outlines things a little bit better, and again, just allows you to see things a little bit clearer, like this is where this is, and so on. So anyways, that's what that does. If there's anything else, you could do some sofas and stuff. Some comfy seating rather than just all this high table stuff. We do have these maroon chairs which would fit. I think these green ones are a bit too green. But maybe you have a section over here that is like a more of a, what do I want to say, a seating area, lounge area. Oops. Add one more light over here. I'll throw in a little coffee table or something right there. And then maybe some people sitting there as well. He might be standing on top of the table. He is. I accidentally turned this backwards. You can also change the color of the view. So if you just kind of toggle between this, you can go between the black and white to sort of no lighting to white and black, if you will, more of a kind of diagram look here. I think I want to just move these a bit, and then make this like its own kind of section over here. And then maybe do like one opposite, or a couple opposite. This corner and this corner. I don't know, I'm just playing around. Let's see. See, I can't really see them, but it does look a little more filled out from here though. If I move these people a little bit further over. And I'll just go into here too and change these people out maybe. All right. Yeah, that's pretty cool looking. All right, cool. I'm gonna save that and create a render of this. And oh yeah, I'll have to create a render separately because I'm on my local machine, not on the website of the live application, where you can download the rendering. So I'll add that on maybe the thumbnail of this video. But all right, I'm gonna end this stream here, and yeah, hope everyone has a good rest of your Friday. And yeah, I'll leave it open for just a second here if anyone wants to ask any questions. I think there's only a couple people on now, but if you got anything else, let me know, and I'll stay on for a minute here, and then we'll close it out for the weekend. All right, I'll go ahead and close it out. Thank you guys again for coming, and hopefully